Hi guys, so I've been having a lot of fun recently turning these MDF sheets into, well, a whole variety of terrain. And obviously something great about the MDF is, well, it's cheap when you buy lots of it. So I've got, well, a whole load more than this. And I've seen in recent videos, yeah, I'll be making some sci-fi terrain as well. I want to make a new kill team sort of zone. So I've been using MDF to turn into these awesome things. Go and look on Thingiverse, you can get tons of these awesome things already designed, already made. But for this video, yeah, I'm getting back into doing obviously more D&D and HeroQuest stuff. And I want to show you a nice, quick and easy way of, well, painting the walls. But before I get into the painting, yeah, I just want to show you how I obviously cut these up. And using the Creality Falcon A1 laser engraver, you'll see me do a full video on this pretty good couple of months ago. I've had this now. Absolutely awesome laser engraver and cutter. As this, well, this you use straight out of the box. Obviously, if you watched the video with me doing this, yeah, I struggled getting it out of the box. But once it was out of the box, it was up and running straight away. So yeah, you haven't got to put any bits together. This comes fully made up. All you got to do is, well, plug and play, which, as all you guys will know, I absolutely love. Yeah, I like things that are simple, easy, and, well, work really, really well. In fact, these things are so easy to use. All you got to do is go online, look for what you're looking for. And in this case, it was stone walls. So I've gone for the clip art just because obviously I wanted the nice, simple black and white sort of bit. Because the laser engraver, you can either engrave with it or cut with it. Or what I'm going to be doing is obviously a combination of the two. And it really is that simple. Say, scroll along on good old Google, find what you're after. So I was looking for sort of wall types, as in sort of castle-y wall types. Obviously, loads and loads of things come up here. And then it's just a case of saving whichever image you want. And then you literally just drag it in. So it's a JPEG that I'm going to drag into the software. Because of its own software, which is really good. So it's really simple, nice and easy, not too many functions, but just what you need. So dragged and dropped the JPEG image into this. And then I can just resize it to, well, whatever size I require. And there we go. It's as simple as that. But obviously, this is just going to do the wall bits. So when I click off of it, you'll see there's no actual edge to it. So that's fine, because obviously along the side here, say, there's only a few things to this, which again makes it so much easy. And absolutely the reason why I love it. So I can just drag a box around. Obviously, all I need to do now is let it know which bits I want it to sort of cut and which bits to engrave. That top one was obviously already there, so just to get rid of that. So I've got the two options here. So the top one is going to do the engraving. So that's going to engrave the obviously the wall pattern. And obviously it comes up with the speed and the strength of the laser already, which is awesome. And the outside line, yeah, I want to do the cutting. So again, you click on the cutting and yeah, it changes the settings. Say it couldn't be any simpler if it tried. And the first thing I always do is you can do this little bit where it marks off the area it's going to cut. Again, I've said this all the time. This thing's got a camera inside it. I'm still yet to set that up. This is more laziness on my side. I will get it set up one day. But obviously you can see where it's going to cut. It goes around. And the other great thing about this thing is, if someone lifts up the lid, it automatically stops, starts beeping at you, and won't go again until obviously you close the lid, and then just push the little button on the side. And then away it goes again. So this is obviously doing the cutting around the outside, which is why it's going slower. So yeah, different speeds for laser engraving and for cutting. Obviously, the other great thing about this thing is it's got the top lid and the front lid. Makes it nice and easy to get to the bits that you've just sort of cut up. And as always, yeah, it perfectly comes out. I love the straightness of the edges. Say the engraving, the thickness it goes down, it does come up with the settings it chooses. But obviously, you can adjust and change those settings if you want it to be deeper or not as deep. In my case, yeah, this has gone through deep enough, so you can feel the ridges, which is really good, because obviously when we come to paint it, well, it's going to take the paint really, really well. So I did a similar sort of thing for the back wall and the base, and then it's just a case of obviously gluing the two together. Obviously, it's the MDF. I'm using super glue. Obviously, use whatever you want. You could use wood glue, but yeah, good old super glue for this job. And then, say, onto the painting. So I primed it with a matte black by the Colour Forge. Again, guys, links down below to everything I'm using. Go check them out, because obviously it does help the channel out. Some are affiliate links where I get a few pennies, doesn't cost you any more, and some are just general links. So yeah, I've run out of white paint. It had to happen eventually, because obviously everything I do kind of gets slap chopped. So that's why, as you can see, I'm using this this pale sort of colour. yeah, I kept putting too little on my brush. This is obviously when you're doing dry brushing, your brush works better when it's got water on it, and then you do the steps I'm doing. Yeah, I haven't used this brush for ages, so this brush is as dry can be. So every time I put paint on it, yeah, this took dry brushing to a whole new level. And this thing, yeah, it was just too dry. I should really have stopped, got some water on the brush, and then carried on. But it's like, nah, I'm just going to keep on going with what I'm doing. And there we go. So yeah, it's come out. So you can see all the nice recesses. They're still nice and dark because they are obviously lower than the top bits. So when it comes to painting, typically I would use rather the grey or this sort of greeny browny looking one. Well, there's a new way I'm painting now when it comes to walls, and that's doing a mix of colours, just so then all the stones have a little, I would say, a subtle change to them. But as you can see, these colours are varying greatly. But not to worry, at the end you'll see what I do just to make it all sort of tied in. And then it's almost like painting by numbers, but obviously without the numbers. So it's just going around painting, obviously, all the blocks. So I'm doing them all in one colour first. And it's just a case of, yeah, it's sort of spacing it out. Don't do too many that are near each other. Obviously, I've got 4 paints, although in the end I actually used 5. I will show you the 5th one in a second. And yeah, it's just a case of going around. So I'm putting it on quite thick. I end up laying it on its back here, just so when I do put it on nice and thick, each tile, not only are they obviously different colours, but they're also going to have varying amounts of paint within each tile. So you are going to get some sort of bits that are going to be obviously darker when it dries and lighter in other areas. And then it was just a case of going through all the, say, 5 paints in the end I used. And yeah, this is what I do. I love painting when you really haven't got to think too hard about what you're doing. This is so much fun. If you've seen one of my recent videos, yeah, I kind of lost my mojo for painting. And I took about a 3-week break, started doing some stuff in the garden. And I got a little kitten as well to keep me company now. But yeah, now I'm back into it. And again, say this is why if you're not enjoying what you're doing, don't do it. And that's what I did. I stopped. Whereas now doing this, I'm definitely back into loving painting. Really enjoyed it. I say something like this, so simple, so much fun, and you don't have to think too hard. It doesn't matter if you go outside the lines. You can make a mess. You can do what you want. And again, it's the enjoyment, and I enjoyed this. So for the floor, I didn't want to do the same because it just looked too much. So the floor, I'm going nice and simple. I'm going to do a checkered pattern with 2 different greys. So obviously a darker grey and a lighter grey. And I say, just doing a checkered pattern. So we'll speed this bit up again. Guys, yeah, I can't say it enough. I'm really enjoying doing this because it does feel like it's been about 3 weeks. I've only painted 1 kill team the other week, so I am sort of slowly getting back into it. But I've got lots of projects on the go now, which is just how I like it. Because that's the other thing. When I lost my mojo, I didn't want to paint anything, so I didn't do anything. Whereas now, yeah, I've got 4 projects on the go. I'll always have about 4 or 5. So obviously the colours, yeah, they do look a bit too separate. So to tie everything in and make it look a bit more uniformed while still having those separate colours, yeah, I'm putting a good old wash over everything. And yeah, good old Agrax Earthshade. So I'm using one of my larger brushes, although I probably still need to get an even larger brush. And then I'm just going over everything, applying liberally. So there's quite a bit, but not obviously too much. It's always difficult for me not to put too much on because I just can't help myself. And again, not trying to be neat, precise, or anything, just getting it on. So it doesn't really matter if there's some areas that have more or less. When it all dries, this is how it looks, and I love it. And I used to just do wall tiles all the same, whereas this is a bit more fun. And yeah, I love it. So yeah, there we go. There's all my some miniatures that I've got. Again, you're going to be seeing loads of miniatures soon, guys. I've got a lot of miniatures from HeroQuest as well. So if you are into D&D HeroQuest, keep an eye out because I have loads of videos coming up with, doing those sort of bits. So I'm about to say a big shout out and thank you to Creality, obviously sponsoring this channel, or this video even, and sending me the Creality Falcon A1 laser engraver, which I say I had a lot of fun with. There's a few more videos coming with this, guys, because it's amazing the amount of stuff you can do and make with one of these. It's one of those things that you never knew you needed, but when you have one, honestly, you'll be using it no end. And I say the fact that MDF is relatively cheap when you buy it in nice big bulky bits, yeah, you'll just be knocking stuff out. So I've got a few videos coming up as well on this, making some sort of display display boxes, something I've made quite a lot of. And again, that's why I love the Creality Falcon A1 for display boxes. Well, for all the painted miniatures that I'm going to be having. Okay, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave comments down below. Another video coming up on the screen. Give that a click, see more of what I do. You guys all take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.